Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video. And I figured I would do another installment into this series of videos, which is basically a collection and discussion video. I already did episode 1 of this little series of videos, where I showed my entire collection of Bruce Willis. So basically what I did was I just went through all the movies that I had of Bruce Willis, or Bruce Willis was a part of, in my collection. So that was a lot of fun to do. And I figured, you know what, I'm making episode 2 of my collection and discussion series, and I figured this would be a horror-related one. And I figured I'd pick a horror director. And I figured I would pick, why not, the legend himself, John Carpenter. So basically, this is going to be my entire John Carpenter collection of all the John Carpenter films that I own in my collection. Now, right off the bat, like I've seen most of his movies. I haven't seen a couple of them, and some of them I've seen, but I don't have. Like, for example, I don't have Assault on Precinct 13, but I really do enjoy that film. For some reason, I don't have Escape from New York. I've seen Escape from New York at FYE a lot, but it's the Bare Bones DVD, and I want the one with the features. But I know Scream Factory has a Blu-ray of that. I want to pick that up at some point if I ever find it. So I don't own that one either. I don't own Someone's Watching Over Me. I don't own Memoirs of an Invisible Man. I don't own In the Mouth of Madness. I really do enjoy that film as well. In the Mouth of Madness. I know Scream Factory has a Blu-ray of that. I want to get that too. I actually haven't seen the Elvis movie that he did with Kurt Russell. Haven't seen that one. I don't... Memoirs of an Invisible Man, I hardly remember. Someone's Watching Over Me, I hardly remember, but I really do enjoy Assault on Precinct 13, Escape from New York. I haven't seen the Elvis movie. I don't own The Ward. I don't really remember much about The Ward, which is the last film he did. I don't own Body Bags, which is a horror anthology that he did with, I believe, Tobe Hooper. I know Scream Factory has a Blu-ray of that, but I really do enjoy that one. It's a pretty good anthology film. So there's a couple of John Carpenter films that I still want to get that I really do enjoy from my collection, but these are just the ones that I just currently have right now in my John Carpenter collection. So I hope you guys enjoy, so let's get on to it. Of course, got to start out with this one. I went in order from his earlier films to his later films, so that way they're all in order. So of course, the first one I have in my collection, of course, is, the original Halloween. Classic movie. This is the standard DVD. I know there's like many versions of this DVD, and I know it's on Blu-ray. There's like a 30th anniversary or 25th anniversary, and there's been like many releases of this film. I need to get one of those new releases at some point, because this is just the standard DVD with you know, TV spots, radio spots, behind the scenes still galleries. So pretty much the standard DVD of Halloween. It's like one of the very first DVDs I ever got in my collection when I first started collecting movies. But love the original Halloween. I'll be showing this in a Blu-ray update, but I finally picked up the Scream Factory Blu-ray of The Thing, of another great John Carpenter film. I'll be showing this, like I said, in my next Blu-ray update, which I have a ton of stuff to show. But really good release by Scream Factory on this one too. It's a 2-disc. Brand new 2K scan of the film. A brand new commentary. You have the old commentary with John Carpenter and Kurt Russell. The second collaboration, I think this was actually the third collaboration, I think, between John Carpenter and Kurt Russell, and they're always really entertaining on commentaries. I mean, the commentaries with those two guys are a lot of fun to listen to. I'll get to one a little bit later when I get to that one. But a lot of really good features on this from the Scream Factory Blu-ray release. So a really nice release from Scream Factory on that one. A really great Stephen King adaptation that John Carpenter directed. That's Christine. This is the special edition. Got this at Monster Mania last year, I think. Commentary with John Carpenter and Keith Gordon, new featurettes, and a lot of other features on the film. But a really solid Stephen King adaptation. Really do enjoy Christine. And this film right here is a much more different John Carpenter film than most of his other films. This has a really good heart to it. Starman. Of course, this is the new Scream Factory Blu-ray, which I have to say they did a really nice job. Brand new interviews with John Carpenter and Jeff Bridges and the supervisor, Sandy King Carpenter, TV spots. But a really nice release from Scream Factory. And John Carpenter shows he has a really good heart when he puts into this movie. The back and forth with Jeff Bridges and Karen Allen is just a really sweet story. It has a really good heart to it. I love Starman. Easily one of the more underrated John Carpenter films. Now we're getting on to here my favorite John Carpenter film, which I know a lot of people will probably not say is their favorite, but for me, this is my personal favorite John Carpenter film. Big Trouble in Little China. This is the 2-disc special edition DVD, which I think is really pretty difficult to find nowadays. This is the commentary that I was going to be talking about, where the commentary on here with John Carpenter and Kurt Russell is probably my all-time favorite commentary I've ever listened to. Out of all the commentaries I've ever listened to on DVDs, this is probably my favorite commentary of all time. I mean, the back and forth with John Carpenter and Kurt Russell is a load of fun to listen to. They have a really great back and forth. They're both in the same room together, and John Carpenter and Kurt Russell just have great energy on the commentary. And there's even a point in the commentary where John Carpenter mentions to Kurt Russell that one of his favorite roles of Kurt Russell was Captain Ron, and you hear Kurt Russell laughing. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know, hey, John Carpenter's a big fan of Captain Ron. Hey, I am as well, so that was pretty cool to listen to. It was a load of fun to listen to. But this is a really good DVD. You have the commentary, deleted scenes, featurette, interview with Richard Edlund, TV spots. Really nice release of Big Trouble in Little China. And because I love the film so much, I also have it on Blu-ray, which has all the features from the DVD. But I keep the DVD because I like that cover better than this one. I also know that there is a Arrow Video release of this with new features on it, which I would like to get at some point because I do have a region-free Blu-ray player. But my favorite John Carpenter film and my favorite Kurt Russell film. I love Big Trouble in Little China. Here's another one of his more underrated movies that I know Scream Factory has a Blu-ray of this. I want to get that. Prince of Darkness. Another really good underrated one. Dennis Dunn and Victor Wong, who were in Big Trouble in Little China, come back to do this film too. You also have the late great Donald Pleasance in the movie. But very solid film, Prince of Darkness. Of course, I'll be showing this too in a Blu-ray update, but I picked up the Scream Factory Blu-ray of this one, They Live. One of my personal favorite John Carpenter films with Roddy Piper and Keith David. Just a fantastic horror film from the 80s. You know, it's They Live. I mean, what else more can you say? Here's another one that I feel is a pretty underrated John Carpenter film that not many people talk about, but I happen to enjoy the film. Village of the Damned. I do have this on DVD. This was a really cheap, dirt cheap, like $3 when I got this at FYE, I think a couple years ago. But I think Village of the Damned is a very solid film. Christopher Reeve, this was the last film that he completed, unfortunately, before his horse riding accident, which is sad. I mean, Christopher Reeve, I miss the guy. You also have Kirstie Alley, Linda Kozlowski, Michael Pare, Peter Jason, Mark Hamill. You even have Thomas Dekker in the film as one of the kids. I mean, this is just a really solid film, Village of the Damned. And, of course, Also have it on Blu-ray from Scream Factory, which I have to say Scream Factory did a really nice job on this release. Has a 49-minute documentary on the film with many interviews with all the kids and people like Michael Pare and Peter Jason, things like that. So really nice release from Scream Factory. Really good, really great Blu-ray. Of course, I have the sequel, but I don't have the first one, like I said. Escape from L.A., which I think is a pretty fun film. Not as good as Escape from New York, but still a very fun film. Here's another one of the more underrated John Carpenter films that I love. Vampires, with James Woods. This is just a highly entertaining movie. Just easily one of my personal favorite vampire films. I love vampires a lot. And of course, the last one that I have in my John Carpenter collection is a film that many people hate. And yeah, it's not as good as, you know, Halloween or, you know, Starman or even Big Trouble in Little China or things like that. But I still think this film is highly entertaining. I've seen much worse horror films than this one. I happen to enjoy this film a lot. I know I'm probably in the minority, and that's fine, but I happen to enjoy this film. Ghost of Mars. Ice Cube, Natasha Henstridge, Jason Statham, Pam Grier, Clea Duvall, Joanna Cassidy. It's actually a special edition. Has a commentary with the director, John Carpenter, and Natasha Henstridge, a featurette on the effects. But I happen to enjoy Ghost of Mars. It's a pretty fun, entertaining movie. And so, that's pretty much all of the John Carpenter films that I have in my collection. So, thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Alright guys, take care.